You're listening to Shut Up and Invest.
And what's up? Welcome to another episode of Shut Up and Invest, live from Miami with the host, J Money.
He sounds like the Heat announcer right now.
2 minutos.
What's up, people? How's it going today?
If you've ever been to a Heat basketball game, that makes sense.
Yeah, it did. It made sense for me. What are they going to do now without Wade County there anymore, man? It's going to be different.
No more Dwayne Wade in the Miami Heat, bro.
It's going to be different, man. I remember I lived here in 2004 when Wade was here when he won the first title, and then now I'm here again. He's leaving, so...
I got a funny story, man. I had season tickets when right before they traded for Shaquille O'Neal. I bought them. So that means I bought them at a wholesale discount.
Because they weren't that good right before that.
So I think I bought season tickets. They were only like $800 or something like that for the season. When Shaq got traded, it jumped up to like $2,000. So I could easily flip my tickets.
Yeah, yep.
Which I did.
Yep.
And would make money. So long story short, the second year they make it to, and I bought a 4-year package. So I had season tickets for 4 years. The second year we make it to the finals is with Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yep.
And it's the last game here, the one that they won. And as I was walking to the stadium, all excited, I'm about to see the Heat possibly win their first ever championship.
Yep.
There was a guy saying, I'll pay anything for tickets. And I was just curious. I had zero intentions to sell him the tickets.
Wanted to see how much.
So I literally was walking by with 2 of my buddies going to the game that also had season tickets. We all bought them together. And I look at him and I go, anything? How much? Zero intentions of selling. I was just
testing the market.
And
just curious.
I had a couple of drinks before.
Yeah,
I was just curious, like, bro, if this guy says $3,000, and as soon as he looked at it, he goes, "Why would you sell them to me if I gave you a good price?" I go, "I guess anything's for sale, but I have no intentions of selling them." But he goes, "If I give you a good price, would you sell them?" And I go, "How much?" And he reached into his shirt and pulled out a badge and flipped it like this.
Oh,
and I was like,
are you kidding me?
Bro.
Oh, no.
I was not negotiating with him. I was not even trying to sell it.
Are you kidding me?
I was literally just
curious.
How much you willing? Like, how much you willing? I was actually still even walking forward. I never stopped to face him or nothing. But when you hear the end of the story, you realize this guy then gets all up in my face, a little shorty too. Mm-hmm. I said, I looked at the badge. I'm like, like, okay.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, like, I didn't do anything. And he goes, let me see your tickets right now. And I was like,
this dude was a hustler, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, he goes, do you want to spend time in jail? Do you want to go to jail right now? You know how many people were picking up right now trying to sell tickets? And I was like, and right there, as I was looking down at him, I was like, right there, it clicked in my head. I'm a season ticket holder. I'll just go to the box office and get my tickets back. I'm not going to get into this with him. So I took that 20-second delay of responding to think. And as soon as that clicked in my head, gave him back 2 tickets, gave him my tickets, or showed it to him, which he snatched them. I was like, get out of here right now or you're going to go in jail. And I was like, okay. Turned around, kept walking to the stadium, went to the box office. By the time I got to the box office line and the whole thing, said, hey, I'm a season ticket holder. I think getting out of the parking garage, I dropped my tickets. But, my seats are the same. They've been all year. Here's my ID. And they go, this is okay. It looks like you've already been scanned in. So somebody had already gone in with my tickets. The dude was a scam. And he might have been a cop.
Yeah.
But just using his badge.
I was going to say that the badge was it a real badge?
Or he was just a scammer.
Or just a scammer who might have went in or might have sold them. Right. You don't even know. So
luckily, Miami Heat organization and everything was on point. They're like, just hang out here. We don't want to have any issues. The security's going to go remove them. And then you guys can go up to your seats.
Wow.
So I missed like
you
the
made
first.
but you made it back. You made it into the game.
I made it in and saw the Heat and Dwayne Wade win their first championship, and the game was awesome. And I think I missed like the first 3-4 minutes. No big deal.
Wow, those scammers out there, man. Gotta be aware of that.
Yeah.
Gotta be aware of that.
Taught me not to talk to strangers either.
So what we got today? We're not talking about fraud or scammers today. We're
We're talking about marketing because that guy caught my attention.
Yes, definitely.
With his bandit sign calling out type of marketing, and I fell for it like a lead.
You did. You fell for that one, hook, line, and sinker.
You know what? If I didn't have season tickets, I would have been screwed.
Yeah,
like if I would have bought them online or whatever.
I didn't even know that if you're a season ticket holder, that they could you can go up there to the to the front desk, do that, and they can just figure it out.
I lost my ticket. Hey, I forgot.
Because what if you sold them and then what if you sold them to somebody and then screw somebody else over?
Yeah. Could have. But they're gonna stick to the side of the person who's been with them all season.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, so the different marketing avenues, how to generate leads, and I did mention bandit size, so we can start there.
You did mention that, right? So bandit size is a very good marketing tool that some people use to generate seller leads. We're talking about generating leads right now for the seller, distressed sellers in the wholesale business. We can talk about buyer leads buyers too. Yeah, because I mean, bandit signs work for both, honestly.
These are the signs that you see out there that say we buy houses cash or we buy ugly homes.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we did up in Harrisburg recently, there was just the tax foreclosure was just going on. So we tried to put bandit signs in front of every vacant house that was going to tax sale, because a lot of people driving around trying for dollars, looking for those homes to see if they're going to bid on it. So that's a good way to get our number out there. So
and you got buyer leads using that.
You got buyer leads from that strategy. Yep.
Right. So you're picking up leads. Either you're trying to pick up motivated sellers that want to sell you the house at a discount or at a good deal, and then you're also trying to generate marketing leads for buyers so that when you do have a good deal, you can call on these buyers and
sell that deal quickly.
Right. So how did you get a good turnout on those bandit signs?
We did. No? We got a pretty good amount of phone calls from I think in my experience, bandit signs generate more buyer leads. I do than they generate seller leads, right? Because even when I'm driving down the street and I see when I'm calling that person up saying, "Hey, what you got?" So I think it actually generates more buyer leads.
I agree.
Than seller leads. So we got a good good amount of people calling because they're driving by these houses, they see the sign,
right?
Calling us,
and then at that point you use that to start building the relationship with the buyer. Hey, what's up? What kind of properties you looking for, and then you start trying to identify their profile.
Again, like I said before, the easiest way to get a deal is to find a buyer, find out what he wants, and then go find that.
And then go get it.
Right? So, I mean, to me, that's the easiest way to get a deal. So we're always trying to add more buyers to our database. And we'll put those same bandit signs in front of our homes that we
what did the sign say so that people can get an idea?
These were just pretty much the same thing. Like, it wasn't even directed to a buyer, right? It was just there saying, we buy houses, call, what's our number is, boom. So
and you knew that.
We knew that people that would call it would be buyers. A wholesaler investor.
Right. Another good one to pick up buyer leads is you'll see the signs that says, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, fixer-upper, need to sell fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll get a lot of normal people that are looking for buying homes that you can work out an agreement with your real estate team and generate leads for them that way if they're not exactly what you're looking for. But you're going to get a lot of investors to call you as well. And
then, of course, the seller financing sign. Whenever you put those out there, you get a lot of investors and buyers from those signs.
Yeah. And when people think building their buyers list and marketing for buyers list, they forget that building a people that want seller financing deals
definitely
is a huge component.
Huge. So in our Carrot website that we use, we actually have on our form that we make, right, a section that says, are you looking to buy a house and seller financing or land contract? And we actually in our CRM have a whole different section for all those seller financing leads that come in. It's a huge market. That if you're not targeting for those people right now, you're missing out on a huge chunk of buyers out there looking to buy homes right now,
Yeah. If you build a buyer's list of not just investors, but of people that actually want to get seller financing as an investor, now you have the opportunity to put deals together that normal people wouldn't. So I think running both of them at the same time is key. And
so bandit sign is definitely a good one. The next one that we use, direct mail. I do heavy direct mail, mostly up north, some down here, but I love direct mail. It's what I started off with. It's what we use the most. It's what we still get an amazing return from. I know a lot of people nowadays in the cold calling RVM text message era don't do direct mail, but we do a lot. And, we do it ourselves. So we're not paying as much as some other people.
But there's still a cost, and the reason why not everybody jumps in is because to send out 1,000 postcards or 1,000 letters, you're going to pay anywhere between, if you're doing it yourself, what are you paying, like 25 cents?
25, 30 cents, Right.
Whereas so for every 1,000, you're dropping $250 to $300.
Yep.
And then if you're doing 10,000, now you're dropping a couple $1,000s.
Definitely. Yeah, it is expensive compared to if you're just cold calling yourself, if you drop an RVM or a text message. It is expensive, but we're very directed and focused on a list that we're mailing out to. So, we do a lot of if we're gonna do a Y list, like a broad list, it's usually our non-owner occupant high equity list, which still to this day gives us a ton of leads, but then we'll also narrow it down. Like we did a direct mail campaign that hit on Monday. That's what we call our empty nester list, which means that people who have owned a home and haven't sold it. So these homes were bought 1985 or prior is who we actually mail to. And then we'll kind of see. We get a lot of seller financing leads from that, or a lot of
opportunities
from that list right there.
For the people that want seller financing deals.
Yep. And I mean, another thing with direct mail is I think there's a lot less competition. I mean, I know there is. When I started doing this in like 15, 16, everyone was doing direct mail. Now there's a lot less competition, and you never know what's going to happen with regulations and stuff with certain things. So I advise to do multiple marketing techniques, but direct mail is what we're going to always keep doing, because let's say that, RVMs one day are not able to be done because of regulations. We still have a presence because of that direct mail postcard. And you'll be surprised someone who calls me who, I've had your card here for 4 months, they decide to call me that day because they're ready to sell.
Right. They keep it. Mm-hmm. They keep it on file. Now, targeting who you're going to send these pieces of mail to. So when I send mail, I'm more selective. Did we already speak to them? They're probably then a hot prospect. They didn't make a decision. Mm-hmm. Now I don't mind taking that list, which is a smaller list, and continuing to hit them up, not only with a follow-up phone call and text message and voicemails, but also direct mail, versus blasting the whole list. So we wait till we get a response, and that's usually
follow up with that.
And
then it's market. Like we said before, it's marketing is market specific, because direct mail in a major large market, when you're going up against guys who are spending 25, 30, 40 grand a month in direct mail, right? If you're dropping a low number, you might not make a dent in that, So it depends on the markets. That's why you have to test your marketing in each market and see which one works best. I found direct mail, some of my markets up north, works a lot better than like if I would do a non-owner occupant high equity list down here because of Miami.
Which I did. I did one last year to a specific zip code. It was about 5,000 people on that list. We were sending out about 500 per week to test it, spending, I think, about $180 per week. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got to the 5,000, we picked up one deal and made like $13K off of it. So, I mean,
it makes sense.
You spend just $1,000, $2,000. It doesn't always happen that way.
No.
I would say you could spend anywhere between a couple thousand to about $7,000, $8,000 is what your average spend is on direct mail before you get a deal.
Probably, yeah, definitely. And of course, I mean,
you can get the home run.
You get the home run, but definitely, you have to
but on average, you're looking at.
I tell people you usually don't get a deal, your first couple campaigns, and so understand that, so many people they mail once, they mail twice, and they stop.
If you only have $1,000,
don't direct mail. I don't think
it's gonna be tough, because you could spend that whole $1,000, not get a good lead from it, and then now you're completely done.
Direct mail, like most marketing, but that's definitely one where you have to be consistent. So like our thing with direct mail is we're hitting. If we have a bunch of lists we're doing marketing to, we're gonna hit them once a month with a postcard. Is what we're doing once a month, or maybe twice a month, depending on what kind of list it is.
Right.
Along with other stuff.
Right. Agreed. Now, aside from direct mail, if you don't have money, the cheapest one is getting a list from any list source, which there's a ton of them out there, and you can find them through our resources. Go to shutupandinvest.com. We'll show you the ones we use. Just go ahead and sign up there, and we'll send you all our resources. But then you skip trace them, which that's a service that'll take that list and the data that's on there, which usually is name and phone number and mailing address.
Yep.
And then it'll provide phone numbers for you.
Yeah, usually you get a list, you won't have phone numbers there. And also those addresses might not be correct. When you send it to a skip trace company, I use batch skip trace. We have a code for that on the website too. They'll come back with phone numbers, sometimes up to 10 phone numbers, right? And then also, let's say that the mailing address is wrong, they'll give you the correct mailing address too. So you skip trace that list, and then when you get those phone numbers, what do you do with them?
You start cold calling.
'Cause
if you only got a couple $100 in your bank account.
Yep. Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. Obviously, if you can afford getting an auto dialer, like a Mojo or something to that nature. Also, tools we'll share with you in our resources. It'll dial a lot faster rather than you getting your cell phone. But if you got nothing,
use your cell phone.
Use your cell phone. Start dialing and try to make, at least 50 to 100 calls per day.
Yeah,
minimum.
Before I had a dialer, I use CallRail, because if you're doing different markets, you get a phone number for each market, and I would just, on my CallRail, just dial. It's very time consuming, but listen, if you're at that spot, you got to do something. Cold calling a list from your cell phone is the most,
You will get a deal. The other one that doesn't cost you anything other than gas is driving around for dollars.
Definitely.
And then door knocking.
Door knocking, yep. Driving for dollars, man, that's the tried and true marketing technique right there. If you don't have any gas, walk. You can walk for dollars too.
Take the
invest in your health while you invest in your wealth, right?
Yeah.
Go to a neighborhood,
areas
walk the neighborhood, and
look for the raggedy houses, the houses that look like there's some hoarders or they're distressed or abandoned, and try to figure out who's been living there. Talk to the neighbors.
A good tip that I've been doing lately is find out when the garbage day is and go drive for dollars that day, right? Because if the house looks a little abandoned and the garbage can's not out there anywhere, that's probably usually a good sign. So
right, which there you gotta go. You see that there probably nobody home, so door knocking to that house might not help. But you can ask the neighbors. Mm-hmm. You can get the information off public records. Skip trace that
again.
And then try to send a letter, which you can write yourself and spend one stamp.
Yeah, definitely. When I first started off, man, I would drive for dollars. I would just use my notes app on my phone. This is before there were any kind of drive for dollars apps. Get a list of homes, come back home. I write the yellow letter. Write the yellow letter out for each house. Might be 20 homes, or have my wife would help me write yellow letters. Mm-hmm. Put an envelope, mail it to them. That was before even skip tracing was big.
Yeah. Skip trace, call them as well.
Now you can skip trace, cold call them.
Exactly.
Track them down. But that takes very, very, like you said, gas money, or get out, catch a bus and just walk.
Yeah. Then you got text message and ringless voicemails, which is what we call RVMs.
Definitely. That's very, very big nowadays, I think, right? The text messages, the RVMs. Just today, I've seen like 4 or 5 articles about robocalls, which I assume RVMs are considered a robocall. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, it's in the line. The robocalls are the ones which I really can't stand.
I get them daily.
And then you hear hey, welcome. And you signed up to be in this $1 million raffle. And you're like, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
So that I hate. But the ringless voicemails, I can't honestly say that I've had a ton of voicemails that are, marketing me. So I guess to me, it hasn't become annoying like the robocalls that I just described. But basically, ringless voicemails is exactly what it says. Like RVMs, ringless voicemails. It doesn't ever ring, so you don't pick up. But yeah, you got a voicemail pending. So you got to take time out of your day to listen. Oh, somebody left me a voicemail. And it'll be the voicemail that we recorded. The thing is that we're not calling one by one by one. We're recording that voicemail once, putting in that list, and blasting it all day throughout different time periods, 3, 4, 5 voicemails at a time, to the whole list until everybody gets a voicemail. waiting for them to call back that voicemail based off what we tell them on the voicemail. Hey, I was driving in your area. I just sold a house. Looking to place my money into another property. If you're interested in a cash offer, I don't care what the condition is. Do me a favor, call me back at 305-222-2222. And that sounds like a regular, genuine voicemail that you would leave anybody if you truly was calling Joe Schmo and leaving them a message.
I think RVM is amazing. I mean, honestly, it's a way to take a large list, right? You can basically drop a whole county, whatever you want to do. Take a large list, drop it for a very, very economical cost.
Yeah, because now instead of paying 25, 30 to 30 cents per, postcard or per letter, now you're barely paying a penny per voicemail. So if you can, now you could basically leave almost 40 to 50 voicemails for the cost of what it takes to send out one postcard or one letter to somebody.
Yep. So RVMs are huge.
The text message works basically the same concept.
It definitely does. And I think the response rates from RVMs and text messages too, usually an RVM lead calling you back is going to be a pretty good lead, if they're going to take the time to call you back from that. Now, you will get the people who call and yell at you and cuss you out and stuff like that. But again, don't shy away from that.
That's the
There
pot
is
of
a
gold.
formula. Remember that, right? Figure out how many it takes to get your deal and embrace that. I got called an MF twice today. Hey, it's part of the game, right?
Yeah, like, okay, a few more. Deal's coming.
And then text message. I think text messages right now is huge because the majority of people don't even want to talk to you on the phone.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what works really well too? The text message works really well for your buyers. So the minute you got a deal,
Exactly.
blast the text message with the details of the deal to all of them. And of course, there's softwares that you can use that can just blast everybody at once. So you don't have to send 150 text messages out, but you'll get your phone to ring with someone.
That's where you
asking
blast your
questions.
buyers, blast realtors. They're not going to complain about getting a text for
A possible
house,
investment
right?
deal that they can sell.
And now right there, you're reaching multiple people with one realtor. Each realtor might have multiple buyers, right? So
100%.
that's what we do right there. Buyers, realtors with text messages is huge. And then also, sellers too.
Yeah.
Also, I do email campaigns too.
Yeah,
That's
for
another
sure.
one. Email campaigns to sellers. And we do email marketing to our buyers too.
Correct. Once you actually got the lead
Got a
and you
deal.
got their emails, you're going to email them 100% and
Yep.
stay in touch and show them deals you have and ask for deals and show them cool content and then just create engagement that way as well. And then like you said, realtors, that leads to networking and the contacts you can have. Realtors, wholesalers, attorneys, accountants, all these people can either bring you a buyer or bring you a possible opportunity.
Definitely. Hey, again, tell people what you do. The number one form of marketing is just to tell other people what you do, right? So if you're an investor, you're looking to buy homes, make sure you tell people that. Put it on your social media pages. When you're talking to people, let them know. Just kind of let them know what you're doing because you never know who might know someone looking to sell, right? And you can help them out, or who might be looking for a property to buy. So make sure you talk to people and tell them what you do.
100%.
I think the one PPC.
Oh, yeah. Big
PPC.
time. PPC and SEO. So if you got a website, SEO is basically the search engine optimization where, it's hacking the Google and the
Google AdWords and all that
what's
stuff.
the other one? Internet Explorer and
Bing. I got a Bing lead today from PPC.
Right.
And our Bing leads, a little tip, our Bing leads are like half the price of our Google ones.
Yeah. So that's PPC. And SEO, you're basically figuring out what the checklist of these browsers, what Google wants on websites. You basically optimize your website to fit that so that when people search for looking to sell my house fast in Miami or sell house fast in Miami, or
you want to pop up.
You want to pop up in the top so that they go to your website and then submit for more information or call you. And then PPC is when you actually put an ad.
Pay-per-click.
Yeah, pay-per-click.
Yep. SEO and PPC both, they're more long-term plays. Now, you can get leads from PPC and SEO, rather quickly too, but that's something that we're always doing in the background. That's always happening because the more that we get digital, the more we go to more on the internet, you want to have a presence on the internet. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say SEO is kind of like going to the gym. You're like, okay, maybe in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and a year, I'll be where I want to be.
Exactly.
PPC is kind of like going to the gym on steroids.
Yeah.
Where it
That's a good
costs
analogy.
some money, but you turn it on and you can literally get eyeballs on your website today.
Yep.
And hopefully they raise their hand and say, please call me, or they raise their phone and call you.
Give you a call, yep.
Yeah, and these are the ads that appear on the top pages of Google when you type in something that you're searching for. You can run PPC on Bing, like you said, which is Google's redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
And
Bing,
there's
Google, what else is
PPC on
there?
Facebook, PPC on LinkedIn, PPC on Twitter,
All that.
even YouTube. You can run
You can run those
PPC
ads you see on YouTube.
videos.
Yep. Or PPC ads.
Yeah,
so.
anything that you basically pay per the click to try to get people to click to go to your website, whether it's a video ad or a text ad or a sponsored ad on your Instagram or Facebook, all that is PPC that you can run and generate leads that way as well.
Definitely. And I mean, you definitely should be doing both. I know, PPC, honestly, you can start doing it for a minimal cost. I mean, the more you put toward PPC, the more return you get. But you can start off. I mean, we were doing $3 a day when we first started off, I think we got like 2 or 3 leads from that brought us like 25,000 total. So, don't be afraid that you have to spend a whole bunch of money at first. Just kind of start, get out there and start doing it because, again, you want to have multiple vehicles, multiple lanes of marketing to be out there at once.
And I think the return on investment once you get the lead, and we can end on this note, is you don't look at it as I have to, it's like dating. You don't have to take that person home right there that very first night. What it does is introduce you to the opportunity to start dating them. So you get to know them, you start the conversation and follow up, and the deal will come. And if you don't right there in that moment spend, whatever you spent on your marketing and don't get the deal right that second, but you did get interested people to call, it's up to you to start that relationship.
Definitely. Follow-up is key. In all marketing, follow-up is key because let me tell you, you usually don't get that deal with that first call or that first time, right? You just want to get them in your database, find out what the house they have is, get some information from them, and then follow up with them. So
I have this conversation all the time. For me, I use dating as the way for people to understand the way marketing should be.
I've been dating a long time, Kevin.
But you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember
I
when
remember
you
the
put that
chase.
Luther Vandross on and you told your girl.
I had a little bit of game back in the day.
When you used to text all the time, or I call, and take them out all the time and see them. And
Do they still do that now? I think they just like swipe right, swipe left. Don't they?
And they snap something and it disappears in 24 hours. Did you see that? No, I didn't see that.
No, but that's a good analogy, like you said. It's a long game,
Yeah, man. Start, flirt with your leads and
flirt with your
keep
leads.
in touch with them and let them know you're thinking about them and all that good stuff. And
Poke them, what's that? Wave, everything you can do. Stay in front of the leads, right? Stay in front of because listen, if you don't, somebody else is going to.
For real.
And nothing hurts more like, man, I talked to them 2 months ago and you see that house getting sent to you from a different wholesaler.
Oh, dude.
That one hurts, so stay in front of them.
100%.
Definitely.
All right, I think we're good. That's a good intro to marketing. We'll get deeper and we'll actually break down certain marketing campaigns that we're doing, what the words say. We'll bring them up on the screen. You guys can see them.
Definitely.
But for right now, it's a nice little intro of all the different ways you could pick up business, both on sellers and buyer side.
Definitely get out there. Once again, shut up and invest. Many options, man, for money or not having money. Just go out there and do it. Hey, thank you once again for listening to Shut Up and Invest. If you guys are motivated at the thought of continuing your real estate journey with us, then visit shutupandinvest.com. There you can join a community and take advantage of more free resources. And don't forget, please like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast so you're first to hear our new content every week. Most importantly, get active and don't forget to shut up and invest.